Welcome to Farewell, Mr. Nice Guy, and I am your host, MNG. And today, our topic is one that I struggle with myself. And the reason why I struggle with it is because I have a lot of burden that I carry with me from past experiences that I just have not been able to let go. And if you're on board of what I'm talking about, and maybe it's going to jog a little memory for you or bring up some kind of emotion that you have buried a long time ago, or bring up that one person that is just itching your nerves, or maybe you're walking to see, or you're going to come across that person unknowingly while you're listening to this podcast, and it's going to kind of tweak your nerves a little bit. But what I'm talking about is holding grudges. So forgiveness, or practicing forgiveness, a useless burden. We want to practice forgiveness, and I am guilty of not practicing forgiveness, and I've tried time and time again to forgive those that have done me wrong. And it's difficult for me to do that because I see them and it brings back all that energy, all that emotion, all that mindset that triggers me into feeling that same anger and fury all over again. And let's be honest, why should we forgive the person that did us wrong? Whether it was a boyfriend, whether it was a girlfriend, whether it was whomever, why should we forgive them? And they did us wrong. It's not like they're apologizing anytime soon. Or if they do apologize, how much treachery did they do for apology to be accepted? How many people have you dated that may have cheated on you but turned around and said sorry just to turn around and do it again because they figure, hey, if they're going to accept my apology the first time, they're probably going to turn around and accept my apology again. And that's not all true. If you're going to apologize the first time, first of all, if you fuck up the first time, then you should have been let go and sent back out to the damn dating pool or all the fishing in the damn sea. That's just my take on it. But don't take my word for it. But I will say that it is something that I struggle with. And I struggle with it often sometimes. I try not to live with too much of a grudge to people, so I try to give people the benefit of the doubt in my older age. They didn't know. They don't understand their intentions. They didn't really know what they were doing or what was going on, so they just, they did it. How much forgiveness am I supposed to give a person or people or individuals over and over and over again before my limits are actually tested? And then I go out and then I just do something crazy, right? So, for example, about 18 years ago, I got my first apartment. And when I got my first apartment, my son's mother, ended up moving into that apartment. And I was kind of new to apartments, so my cousin owned a building. It's like a 4-apartment building. And my son was going to have his own room when he was born, and we had our own room. We had the crib set up and everything. One of the things I didn't know that came with the apartment with this particular apartment, is I had to pay the water bill, and I had to pay the rent. The rent is one of the things I know I had to pay every month. It was like $400, so I had a really good deal on it. And man, just speaking of $400 rent, how long has it been since you've seen rent at $400? And this was way back when. This was about 17 years ago. $400. Like, geez. Let's just look at it. So during the time, I wasn't aware of all the stuff that I had to pay. So I know I had to pay the water bill and the gas bill, electricity bill, because all that stuff came separate from the rent. I lived in this apartment for a few months, and I didn't know I was supposed to pay these things because I didn't get any of the stuff in my name. I didn't find out until after I moved that stuff had to be paid for. Like the DTE bill had to be paid for before I even moved into my next apartment. So one thing that I decided is that this cousin was out of my life, just done for. Can you forgive somebody that cheated you out of several months of money and not even tell you that the place that you were staying at was in foreclosure? I mean, that's the least the person could have did. Like, I thought I had a connection. I thought I had the plug on my side, but honestly, I didn't. This person betrayed me worse than a person in the street could have. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, well, why would you do this to your own family? You let me sit here and pay you rent month after month. You had 3 other tenants. They're paying rent too. We're all paying rent to you, and you in turn take our money, allow the building to go into foreclosure, and we all lose out. And if that wasn't bad enough, I had to figure out what I was going to do. That was the worst of it. Well, I guess the worst of it was that it was a family member doing me dirty. So I had to figure things out. Now, have I forgave that person? Hell the fuck no. I can't. Every time I see this motherfucker, I get attitude. I don't feel like this motherfucker talk to me. Every time they see me, oh hey, no, motherfucker, don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. I don't even want to be in the same vicinity or realm with you at all. Never. And it feels bad because I still hold that grudge to this day. I still hold it. I can't get over it. I can't. It's hard for me to see that person it's hard for me to see that person like in real life. Even when my mom tried to talk to me about the person, oh, they going through this. I don't care. Y'all had to let me know how y'all feel about that. Like, should I let this grudge go? Or should I just continue to hold on to it? Or should I forgive and just not forget? And kind of accept them partially. I don't even want to accept them back into my life. Not partially, not fully, not wholly, not too much of anything. I don't want to allow them back in any capacity at all. So I'm asking you for this first scenario. Should I forgive but not forget and welcome this person, somewhat seemingly into my life? Because we have got into it a few times because they don't understand why I don't give a fuck about them. They have questions like, well, I don't understand why you keep treating me this way. Motherfucker, you ain't realize what you did? Motherfucker, you took my goddamn money and allowed me to get evicted out of a fucking apartment and didn't even tell me, your cousin. I guess the bitch just forgot that the shit happened. It just left her mind. I guess if you do dirt to somebody, you're no longer the victim. Or you're no longer the person not the victim. You're not the person that caused the accuser. You're not a victim now. You've been victimized because I guess the system did you wrong. And I know that we all have instances in our life where somebody did us dirty, whether it was a best friend, a lover, a family member, your parents. Your parents could have did you dirty as hell. But those are your parents. Do you just cut them out of your life and just say, you know what? Y'all fucked up with me. I'm done. What do you do? Now, I got another scenario for y'all. When I was really, really young, so we're going to go back like 20, 23 years, right? When I was really, really young, I had a job with my cousin. Now, my cousin ran like this little home or whatever, and she offered me a job to come over there and work. And I said, okay, cool. I'll come over there and work. It was some easy money, and she let me drive her car. So that was a plus for me, being like 16 and you get to drive somebody's car. Hey, man, I was out there hitting the whip on that joint. So I was there working, and it was an instance where there was a weekend where I wasn't able to come into work. It just was impossible for me to come into work. So I was over at my cousin's house, and I was trying to wake my cousin up so he can go ahead and take me to work. This motherfucker won't wake up. I mean, I ain't never seen a motherfucker sleep so goddamn hard. I'm like, dog, help me get to work like I'm missing money. So long story short, I couldn't make it. So she told me, oh, well, don't worry, I'll take care of it. All right, cool. I'm glad you understand. Come up the next weekend. Hey, you want me to come over? I know you said you're gonna let me know when you want me to come back. She was like, nah, you don't have to worry about coming back and everything. She completely fired me. Now, mind you, I've been working for her for like 3 years. Now, this was like my second stint with her, like my second time working with her, and it was like a short little bit of time before she fired me. But I'm like, I know where the bodies are buried, right? Like, you fired me. I know you do dirt over there, but you fired me. Like, it wasn't even like a phone call say, look, this ain't working out. I missed one day. One fucking day. Well, actually, it wasn't even one day. It was one weekend. I missed one weekend. Yeah, I fucked your plans up, maybe. I don't know what the fuck you had planned, but you just turned around and didn't fire the motherfucker. What the fuck did I do to deserve that? Look, I was number like 15, 16 years old. I didn't even have another job. Like, that was like one of my first jobs that I had. And I got fired by my cousin? What the fuck? Like, that's the craziest thing ever. And I didn't even get let down easy. I didn't know what was happening. I'm calling like, hey, yeah, I was gonna come over today. You want me to come over this weekend? No, you ain't gotta come back at all. You said I was one of your best. How the fuck you fired one of the best workers? I think I was the best worker. I don't know. She didn't give out no reviews or no shit like that. But how the fuck you fire your cousin? Like, but then she hired all her family members and they was doing work and shit like that. But how the fuck I get fired? Like, goddamn. Like, I know. You know how they say when you know dirt, you know where the body's buried at? Motherfucker, I knew where the bodies was buried at the time. If I knew the right people to call, I would have shut that shit down. That's my revenge. Man, that's the revenge tour right there. Like, how the hell you gonna get mad at me because I couldn't show up? I had family issues going on that I couldn't show up. Bitch, you knew about them. You knew about these family problems. And I couldn't come. Man, that was shady. I'm sorry, that was shady. Now, again, I ask, am I wrong for not forgiving and not forgetting? Because I'm holding on to these grudges. I am. Like, I have a major issue of people or family members doing dirt and then be like, oh yeah, you should still fuck with me. No, I shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. I probably have my share of fucking over people. I mainly have my share of fucking over people. And if I do, I'm going to use this time to apologize. I don't care how long ago it was. I was young. I didn't know what was going on. I apologize. If it happened in recent years, maybe I could have did better. Maybe I could have approached it a little better. But as always, you know how I look at things. I will admit, there are some things that I was at fault at. There are some feelings that got hurt. There are some things that I said that have made people question how much of a friend I was or how much of a boyfriend I was. There are some things that were said. Now, I am nowhere near innocent. I am a fool at heart sometimes. And there are times where I say the first thing that comes to my mind. And for those people that I have hurt, past, present, and those in the future, I apologize. I apologize with the utmost sincerity. I know there are people feelings I've hurt because sometimes I think before, I don't think before I speak. And that in there lies the issue sometimes. And I know that we all been there. So I say this to you all that are listening. Forgive, but never forget, if you can. Now, I have taken my moments to forgive those that have done me wrong, so I don't carry that burden going forward. But the last two people that I just told you about, I can't forgive them. I don't know what it is, but that is buried really deep inside of me where I cannot let it go. I am holding on to that like the people that hold it on for gold during a gold rush. I am holding on. I am holding on like they did with the GameStop stock. I am holding on. I am not letting go. And I know this sounds like, oh, M&G, you petty, or M&G, you should let it go. You're holding on to that energy, and that energy can be very toxic. I get it. I know all the psychological, I know all the emotional and the spiritualness and the righteousness that goes along with it. I get it. I understand. Trust me, I do. But it is very difficult when you have been fucked over by family to just rein all that shit back in and say, you know what? I forgive you. You know what? For the fans or for the people, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to forgive everyone for their transgressions against me. There you go. I forgive everybody for their transgressions against me. And this may sound, however it may sound, whatever you may think it is. If I'm telling you to do it, then I got to do it myself too, right? I have to be the product of the words that I am spewing out. I have to be that, because if I'm not that, then who am I to tell you to be able to go ahead and forgive someone? And I'm not even forgiving somebody myself. I just told two relative stories about trying to about not ever forgiving or forgetting the transgressions that they did against me. I don't know if I'm using transgressions correctly, but the wrongfulness, the treachery, the betrayal that they put across me as a family member, they did to me. And I am now, we gonna say 23 to 25 years later, am going to forgive them. I'm not going to forget, and nor am I going to just let them just come back into my life. I'm not doing that either. But I forgive them. I forgive my cousin for taking my money and using it for whatever outside of paying a mortgage for me and my family to live at the time. And, basically put me back out onto the street, or put me back into my mama's basement. Well, I had a room before I left, but put me in my mama's basement. I forgive my cousin for firing me because of the family situations that I was going through at the time. I forgive y'all. I don't know if y'all will ever hear this, but I forgive you for whatever your thought process was at the time, for why you did what you did, or the struggles that you were going through at that time. I forgive you. I give you my heart to say that I forgive you with the little or the ounce of love that I have towards you, which is not much. It's not much. It's barely an ounce. But I forgive you. I forgive you for everything. So there we are, people. I have forgave the two people. It's probably the last two people that I actually hold a grudge against. I forgive them. I'm wrong. I gotta forgive one more person. I gotta forgive my son's mother. I gotta forgive her for taking him to live in a shelter when he had a warm bed. I gotta forgive her for not being around for the graduations, all the activities, and everything that I put him in, and everything that I went through with him. The school clothes, not being able to follow through on promises. I gotta forgive her too. So I am going to do this. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me, because this is difficult for me to have to forgive but not forget. And it's one of my struggles that I have. And if this show comes out in a new year, this will be my New Year's resolution. Okay, I don't really believe in New Year resolutions, but we're gonna start off 2024 with forgiving everyone. And we're going to just walk with a clean slate. That's what we're going to do. We're going to walk with a clean slate. Oh, I feel it. I feel it, and it is feeling good. I feel the energy and the positivity that is running through me that wants me to commit to this forgiveness. I'm feeling this energy and this mindset to make me want to fulfill the ideals and the mindset to forgive these individuals. So the last three individuals, that I have had grudges against for more than 15 plus years, I am going to forgive them. I am going to welcome them. I am going to accept them at who they are now and not who they were. I need everybody to get on the same boat with me. And we're going to have to say it together. I forgive you for what you did to me, and I accept you for who you are now. Let me say that one more time. I forgive you for what you did to me, for how you made me feel, for the mindset that you had, for whatever you had to do to survive in order for you to cross me. I forgive you, and I welcome you, and I accept you for who you are today and not who you were. It doesn't mean that I'm going to forget. It doesn't mean that we're friends. It doesn't mean that we are family members. I am forgiving you for the past. I welcome and accept you as who you are. But it'll never be the same trust, understanding, and communication that it was prior to the transgression. I'm not saying that we're going to be family members again. I'm not saying that we're going to be friends again, but I can at least be cordial enough to accept you as you are, knowing that what you have been through is a product of your own. You could say it's a product of your environment, how you was raised, or you was just forced to do it in some kind of way, and it ain't no fault of yours. That's a lot of excuses that you may want to give yourself, but I am not going to give you the excuses because I have wiped all that away. And we're going to start 2024 off with a clean slate. Nobody is going to live rent-free inside my head. Nobody is going to live with them thinking that I am still thinking about them or I have a grudge towards them. I forgive you. I forgive them. I accept them, and I welcome them. If everybody said that with me, feel that burden, feel that weight, feel that everything come off of your shoulders. Let it lift. It should be lifting and lifting high. Oh, I feel it. I feel that energy. I feel that need. I feel that power. I feel that positivity. My mind feels relinquished. My shoulders feel light. My body feels energetic. I'm rising. I am no longer holding on to anything. Nothing is holding me down. And I feel like opportunities are going to come our way. New ventures are going to come our way. A new mindset is coming my way. I feel a new perspective inching in, creeping in bit by bit. I feel it. I see it. I see 2024 being the year of forgiveness and a clean slate and acceptance. You got to claim it. 2024 is my year of acceptance. I accept. I had the year of yes, but now I would have the year of acceptance. Accepting who I am. Accepting who they are. Accepting people at who they are without judgment. I accept. Ooh, I accept. I am feeling it. If you can't feel it, you're still holding on to something. And you got to relinquish it. You got to let it go. You have to let it go. Don't let it linger. Don't let it hold you down. Don't let it trap you. Don't let it trap you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Don't let it trap you. Let it go. No matter how recent it happened, no matter if it happened years ago, forgive but not forget and accept. I accept you for the treachery that you did, and I accept you for who you are right now. And I think that's the main part that we have to do is accept them for who they are right now. Whew, I hope y'all feel that. I hope y'all feel that energy, because I'm feeling that energy. I am feeling the energy. This is your host, MNG. And this is Farewell, Mr. Nice Guy. And I will invite you to leave a voice message. I'll invite you to answer the questions at the end. If you want to shoot us an email, you can shoot us an email at farewellmrniceguy@gmail.com. If there's any topics that you want us to talk about, hey, I am 100% game for any topic you want to bring to the forefront. But not any topic. Just be a little, or if you have questions. You have questions that you want me to answer, give you my analysis, give you some best practices, some strategies. I could definitely do that as well. Trying to beat the system, trying to beat the courthouse. Let's the fathers stand up, speaking for those that cannot speak at all. I'll see you on the next recording. Peace.